Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it's that time? I'm going to do our Week 11 college football predictions. We're going to go through all of our top 25 matchups. We're going to break the games down, look at the teams, the offenses, the defenses, the coaching, and try to predict the outcome for every single one of our ranked games this week. We're going to pick the winner, loser. We'll go over the final score, and we'll also take an in-depth look at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. First things first, though, before we even get started, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Drop your comment down below. Who do you think is going to win these matchups? The games are meaning a lot more. This season is flying by. We're on the downward slope right now. Conference play is getting deeper. Teams are starting to separate themselves. We have that college football playoff poll coming out soon, too. Who's going to be our final 12? If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment below. Click on that link, sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. Let's jump right into it. Our very first game, we actually have two ranked Friday night games. Friday night, November 7th, 9 p.m. on ESPN. The 6-2 Tulane Green Wave. Not the best performance last week, but still overall very good team. Getting a lot of off-field hype right now. Summerall might be going to one of those openings right now for one of the big college football brands. Very hot commodity. They'll be on the road versus number 22, the Memphis Tigers, 8-1. Memphis obviously pulling off that massive upset versus USF. That now leaves them as the highest ranked Group of 5 team. If they continue to handle business, if they win the conference here, they might find themselves in the playoff at the end of the year. Right now, coming into this matchup, you have Tulane, 27.6% chance to win this one. The Tigers, a 72.4% chance. Memphis is also going to be the Vegas favorite, 6.5-point favorites. 55.5 over under. Currently, Memphis, really good offense, very balanced offense. They can throw it, they can run it, they play overall solid defense. Retzlaff, the transfer out of BYU, almost 1,700 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's also the leading rusher, 9 rushing touchdowns, 513 rushing yards. He's got the legs here. He was a very experienced quarterback coming over for BYU. He's filled in nicely with the Green Wave. On the other side, though, Memphis, so much hinges around Lewis having a really good game. 1,900 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 picks is what he also does with his legs. Almost 600 yards on the ground, 8 rushing touchdowns. Braham Jr. closing in on 700 yards receiving. The Tigers, 37.7 points a game, throwing for 229, running for 201. Really balanced offense, only giving up 19.2 points a game. And on the other side for Tulane, 25.9 points a game, throwing for 233, running for 175. You get 25.5. Memphis, they have the edge on offense. They have the edge on defense. I do think they walk away with this win. Very close fourth quarter. They pull away at the end. They win it 30-24. And then on Fox at 9 p.m., the 5-3 Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern actually pretty good record so far this season. That's really good considering the fact that they virtually have no offense. Overall, very good defense, a top 15 national defense, but the offense, it's kind of a complete joke. Right now, Stone, 1,400 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 9 picks. He has a lot of turnovers here. That's not going to be good. You don't want to give extra possessions. To number 20, the USC Trojans, 6-2, coming off that win versus Nebraska. Mayaba, great season so far, almost 2,400 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. He can also extend plays with his legs. Deep running back room, but we all know who gets all the hype. It's Lemon Lane, one of the best 1-2 wide receiver combos in the entire country. Those guys, first-round overall talents. The Trojans are coming into this game heavy favorites. 90.8% chance to win. Northwestern only a 9.2. Trojans are also massive betting favorites. They're in this matchup. They're 14.5-point favorites, a 52 over-under. Northwestern, so much is going to hinge around Stone and keeping the turnovers down. Trojans coming off of a very physical matchup last week. Their defensive line played really good. If they can get in Stone's face, they could potentially cause some turnovers, create some havoc in the backfield. Northwestern's coming into this game. They're averaging 22.5 points a game, throwing for 172, running for 188. A rush-heavy team. It's going to put a lot of pressure on that Trojans front seven. But like I said, they've been looking pretty good the last couple weeks, and they're only giving up 16.8 points per game. But this Trojans offense, one of the best in the nation. Obviously, Lincoln Riley, in my personal opinion, the best offensive mind in college football. 39.8 points a game, throwing for 302, running for 204, giving up 22.4 points a game. They have the weapons, they have the offense, they have the defense. They're at home. Give me the Trojans to win this one 34-17. Now, moving on to our Saturday game, Saturday, November 8th at 12 p.m., some Big Ten football. Number 2, the Indiana Hoosiers. They have 3 50-point games within Big Ten Conference play. 350 burgers. They're lighting it up. Kurt Cignetti, he has this team rolling. They play top 10 offense, top 10 defense as well. They have a very physical team. They got a lot of talent. They've been working the portal. They've been working it smart. The Fighting Cignetti's on the road. Not versus James Franklin anymore. The 3-5 Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State just trying to pull off some type of massive upset here. But the odds are definitely stacked against them. Indiana, 82.7% chance to win the Nittany Lions, 17.3. Hoosiers are the favorites, 15.5-point favorites, 49.5 over-under. This game was supposed to be one of the biggest games of the season. This was supposed to be a play-in for the playoffs for both these teams. Right now, Indiana, pretty much the path is completely paved forward for them to make the playoffs and make the Big Ten championship. Penn State, they're just trying to, in some way, fight to get to bowl eligibility this season. Crazy for a team that started out preseason top 3, made the playoffs last year. Right now, the Hoosiers are coming in here, one of the best overall offenses in the entire country. Mendoza, he's the Heisman frontrunner for some, no matter what. He's at least in the top 3 Heisman voters right now. 2,200 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 4 picks. Black closing in on 700 yards rushing. Cooper Jr., Surratt, great wide receiver 1-2 combo. Both those guys legit with the back shoulder fade pass. It's a thing of beauty. Mendoza to Surratt. No one's been able to stop it yet. On the other side, obviously, Drew Waller out for the season. Allen, Singleton. The running game hasn't quite hit like it usually does. And there's just no playmakers on this team. They don't have any skill position players in that wide receiver room. The Hoosiers are averaging 46.4 points a game, throwing for 259, running for 146, only giving up 10.8 points a game, only 80 yards on the ground. Indiana, great front seven. They shut down the run. Penn State wanted to lean and own the run game this season. Just hasn't worked up so far, and they're going up against one of the best. Nittany Lions 31.5 points a game, throwing for 180, running for 155, giving up 21.8. I think the Hoosiers, they own this game. They own it first half. They own it second half. They get the win 33-17. 12 p.m. on ESPN. Number 5, the Georgia Bulldogs, 7-1, coming off that close win versus Florida. Georgia, a lot of one-possession wins. Point of the matter is they don't really turn this team on to the second half of games. When they have leads, they get a little complacent here. A lot of one-possession win games. At some point, that might end up biting you in the butt. Kirby Smart, Bobo, you got to get things going. You have to be aggressive here. Take advantage of your top 5 overall roster talent. They'll be on the road versus 5-4 Mississippi State Bulldogs. Kind of a hard place to play. The cowbell is going to be going off the entire game. Jeff Lebby's team, they can score some points. They have a lot of turnovers. They give up a lot of points, but their offense has been competitive with every single team they played. Right now, Georgia on the road, 78.7% chance to win. Mississippi State, 21.3% chance. The Bulldogs, 7.5-point favorites. 57.5 over-under. Stockton has showed he probably is the far better quarterback so far than Carson Beck. 1,800 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks. He can also extend plays with his legs. Bowen's finally getting that ground game going. I want to see Georgia be a lot more successful running the ball, open up that play action, deep passing. Branch, I've been saying for 2 months now, feed Branch the ball. They finally caught on the last 2 weeks. He's a playmaker, one of the most electrifying players in college football. On the other side, Shapen, 2,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 picks. Bothwell, 500 rushing. Thompson, almost 800 yards receiving. Georgia, 32.5 points a game, throwing for 236, running for 184, giving up 19.6 points a game. That's not a bad defense. It's just un-Kirby Smart. Like, usually they're sub 15. They're giving up a lot more points than they usually do and scoring a lot less. The games have been condensed a little bit. They're just a little too close for my liking. Mississippi State, 33.2 points a game, throwing for 251, running for 158, giving up 24.7 points a game. They give up 162 on the ground. You can gash this team. Lean on the run, lean on it early, lean on it often. Georgia wins another one-possession game, 30-23. And our next matchup, this is the game of the weekend. It's not even close. I'm pretty sure there's also going to be the college game day game. It better be the college game day game because this is the best matchup. This is top 10 versus top 10, 12 p.m. ABC. Number 8 BYU, 8-0, undefeated right now. The Cougars, they won over 10 games last year. They were rolling. They lost Retzlaff right before the season. Bachmeier took over, true freshman quarterback, but he's hit the ground running. He's throwing well. He's running well. This is a physical team. This is a line of scrimmage BYU team. On the road, though, versus the number 9, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, 8-1. This is Big 12 versus Big 12, both top 10 matchups. The Red Raiders, 60.9% chance to win. The Cougars, 39.1%. Do not underestimate BYU here. They were underestimated in the Utah game. They upset that game. They won it. They are undefeated. They want claim another run at the Big 12 championship. And how about Texas Tech, the number 1 transfer portal class? They have a top 10 offense. They have a top 10 defense. They have a top 5 rush defense as well. Who would have ever thought the Red Raiders would be a line of scrimmage football team, but they are this year. It is a fun thing to watch. College football this season is completely crazy. Right now, the Red Raiders, they're also the betting favorites in this matchup. 10.5-point favorites, 52.5 over-under. I could see some points being scored in this matchup, but that's a very large spread to me. Kind of a concerning spread versus another top 10 team, an undefeated team. no one's really given the Cougars the respect that they've definitely earned so far this year. Bachmeier, 1,700 passing, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. He can also run the ball. Martin's closing in on 800 on the ground. Roberts, 600 through the air. But how about Morton is finally back for Texas Tech? He missed 2 games. That was one of the ones they lost. They didn't even have their starting quarterback. In the games he started, which he's played, I'd say about 6.5 games total so far this season, 1,800 yards. 15 touchdowns, 4 picks, very deep running back room. Dickey closing in on 800, talented wide receiver core. Both these teams can score. Both these teams play defense. BYU 36.9 points a game, throwing for 217, running for 217, a 50-50 split, very balanced team, only giving up 17 points a game. Texas Tech 43.6 points a game, throwing for 294, running for 198, giving up 13.2 points a game, only 74.6 on the ground. Like I said, they shut down the run. It's the Texas Tech front seven. It gets a lot of praise, deservedly so, but that's the matchup of the game. The Texas Tech front seven versus the freshman Bachmeier. How does he respond under relentless pressure from Texas Tech, especially if Texas Tech gets a little bit of a lead, puts Bachmeier in a situation where he has to go score for score, blow for blow with this Red Raiders offense. That, to me, is what separates the game here. Give me Texas Tech getting a top 10 win. They win this one at home, 33-28. And another Big Ten matchup, 1 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Number 1, the defending national champions, the undefeated Ohio State Buckeyes, 8-0. This team is rolling right now. Ryan Day, Matt Patricia, Brian Hartline, one of the best coaching staffs in the country, one of the best, most consistent analytic offenses, and their defense still number 1 in the nation. Number 1 defense last season, number 1 defense again this year. They'll be on the road versus the 2-7 Purdue Boilers. The Buckeyes, they've been covering every single spread this season. Will Purdue be able to slow them down? There's so much talent on this team. Top 3 overall roster. Right now, the Buckeyes, 97.1% chance to win. The Boilermakers, only a 2.9% chance to win. Ohio State, huge favorites, 28.5 point favorites, 48.5 over under. It's really hard to envisioning the Boilermakers really putting up any type of fight versus this Buckeyes team. Julian Sayin right now has to be in the Heisman conversation. He has to be in your top 3, probably Mendoza, Simpson, Sayin in whatever order you want. 2,200 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's been efficient basically since game 1 versus Texas. Jackson's closing in on 600 on the ground. Might be the deepest overall wide receiver core in the nation. Smith, Ennis, Tate, first-round picks all over the field on offense. For Purdue, Brown's going to have a perfect game. 1,800 yards, 9 touchdowns, 7 picks. This Buckeyes team, great secondary. They're going to look to create a lot of chaos back there, picking off passes. And with that Buckeyes front seven, if they could potentially force some errant throws, could be a very long day. Ohio State, 36.6 points a game, throwing for 284, running for 153, only giving up 6.9 points a game. Like I said, number 1 in the country, only 133 pass yards given up, great secondary, 81.8 rush yards given up, really good front seven. Purdue, struggling to score, 22.1 points a game, throwing for 234, running for 141, giving up 27 points a game. They don't have the offense. They don't have the defense. Give me the Buckeyes. They don't shut them out. They might shut them out, but they don't shut them here, but they do cover the spread. Give me Ohio State winning 38-7. And on the SEC Network at 1 p.m., the 4-5 Citadel Bulldogs. Don't forget, this is an FCS team, so we're not going to have a spread till the day of. They'll be playing number 7 Ole Miss Rebels, 8-1 Ole Miss here. Guys, there's only 3 games left. All Ole Miss has to do is win 2 of 3, and they'll be in the playoffs. And one of this final 3 is versus an FCS team. It is a gimme win. The Rebels, 99% chance to win. The Citadel, only 1% chance. Like I said, we don't have the spreads here. We don't have the over-runners, but we know they're going to be massive. The Rebels, Lane Kiffin, you know this offense. He's going to have a good offense every single season. Chambliss, he's only started 8 games this season. 2,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's a mobile quarterback. Lacey closing in on 900 yards rushing, 13 rushing touchdowns. This team can beat you multiple ways. And how about the Ole Miss defense the last couple weeks? The defense has come around. Citadel, they're averaging 22.9, giving up 25.4. Ole Miss, 36.2, throwing for 289, running for 188, giving up 22. They're going to cruise to this game. Keep your eyes on SEC play. There's no reason to lose any of these games. Rebels win 57-13. 3:30 p.m. We have one of our ranked v ranked matchups on ABC. Number 3, the Texas A&M Aggies, the highest ranked SEC team, still undefeated. Give Mike Elko some props here. He's only been on this team a couple seasons. He's rebuilt the roster, took the talent, got the most out of it. The offense is rolling. The defense is playing well. A top 10 overall roster, 8-0 undefeated in the SEC on the road versus number 19, the Missouri Tigers, 6-2. Drinkwitz, back-to-back 10-win seasons. He's got this team rolling. The big loss, though, Prabula out for the season. Zoller, true freshman quarterback here, hosting the Aggies. It's a tall task to ask him to beat an undefeated Aggies team, but he does have a lot of playmakers around him. Missouri, 44% chance to win. The Aggies, 56% chance. A&M here on the road, 7-point favorites, 49.5 over-under Reed. Reed's having a great season. 2,000 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, 6 picks. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He doesn't want to run. He wants to beat you with his arm. But if it's there, he will take off for 20, 30 yards any day. Owens closing in on 500. Craver, they have Conception, talented 1-2 wide receiver combo. On the other side, Zoller, being such a young guy here, they're going to have to rely on that run game. Hardy, 1,000 yards rushing. He's having a great season. But like I said, it's a very tall task to ask a freshman quarterback to win this game. Looking at the team stats here, the Aggies come in 37.8 points a game, throwing for 259, running for 200. Very balanced team. Mike Elko wants to beat you in the trenches at the line of scrimmage. They're giving up 23.6. Yes, the defense has played better the last couple weeks. Overall, not the best defensive team, but they're definitely good enough. Missouri, 35.4 points a game, throwing for 237, running for 236. Really balanced, only giving up 16.8 points a game. But not having not having Pabula there, that's a massive loss. Zoller, they're going to have their ears pinned back. They're going to be coming after him. Come at the true freshman, force some mistakes. It's bound to happen at some point. Give me the Aggies control in this game. They win it 30-20. And what's actually a pretty under-the-radar, really competitive Big Ten matchup at 3:30 p.m. Number 6, the Oregon Ducks, 7-1, coming off the bye week, fully rested. When you look at this Oregon team, Dan Lanning has built this team perfect through the portal, through recruiting, top 10 overall roster, great offense, great defense, playmakers all over the field, but he's built it at the line of scrimmage from the inside out. They can line up with anyone, and they can compete at the line of scrimmage in the trenches. Trench warfare, that's what they're built for. Big Ten play, SEC play. They'll be on the road versus one of the best defensive teams of the last couple of decades, the 6-2 Iowa Hawkeyes at Iowa. A very difficult place to play. Kirk Ferentz, like I always say, Ferentz's teams, I'd rather watch Payne try. His offenses are atrocious. They're so boring, but he has a top 10 defense every single season. Just think if they had a modern day offense where this team would be. Doesn't matter. They play great special teams. They kick well, and they have a really good defense. They're going to get turnovers. That is what they do. The Hawkeyes, 30.3% chance to win. The Ducks, a 69.7%. Do not sleep on Iowa, especially at Iowa, because you know that defense, they're going to come out. They're going to keep this game close. Wouldn't be surprised if it's tied at halftime. That's the way they always play. But Oregon's depth should ultimately make the difference. That's the goal. Right now, the Ducks, 69.7% chance to win this one. They come in here 5.5-point favorites, 41.5 over-under. It's usually always the under in all the Hawkeyes games. The Ducks, Dante Moore, 1,800 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 4 picks. The playmakers are there. They're getting healthy at the wide receiver position. A really good defense. On the other side, Gronowski as the Iowa quarterback. He was definitely throwing at the FCS level. He's not throwing much now, but he is running all over the place, extending plays, and Iowa has very long possessions, 8 to 10 minutes every single time they have the ball. Suck up the game clock, control time of possession. They're going to run the ball. The Ducks, 41.3 points a game, throwing for 247, running for 237, very balanced, only giving up 13.5 points a game. Really good secondary, only giving up 124.6 through the air. The Hawkeyes, 31.3 points a game, throwing for 133, running for 85, giving up 13.3. Like I said, they always have a good defense. Top 5, top 10 defense every single season, but I think the Ducks ultimately pull away late third, early fourth quarter. They win this one 30-17. Moving back over to the ACC, 3:30 p.m. on ESPN, the 3-6 Syracuse Stars. Got to feel bad for Fran Brown's team here. They were having a great season, kind of picking up right where they left off last season. Don't forget last year, the number 1 passing offense in the entire country. Kyle McCord's gone. That entire wide receiver core was gone. They had some good players last year. Won 10 games. Steve Angeli comes over from Notre Dame. He's slinging the ball up and down the field. He goes down. The Syracuse offense has not been the same. I don't even think they've scored over 15 points the last 5 or 6 games, just struggling to move the ball, and it's mainly because their starting quarterback's gone down. They'll be on the road versus number 18, the Miami Hurricanes, 6-2. Miami, not the best last 3 weeks. They lost to Louisville. They beat Stanford. They lost to SMU. Everything's reeling. Mark Cristobal under a lot of pressure right now. Deservedly so. He has not adapted to modern college football. I've been saying that for weeks. This team refuses to put their opponents away. When you flirt with disaster, you let teams come back second half. You just run the ball. You refuse to get aggressive and keep your foot on the pedal. The games are going to sneak up on you. It's already snuck up on Miami twice this season. They can't afford to lose anymore. They still have a very slight chance to make the playoffs, but they have to win out. There's no other option. Right now, Miami, 96.3% chance to win. The Orange, 3.7. The Hurricanes, 28.5-point favorites, 46.5 over-under. Carson Beck, it is what it is. The guy's playing like crap this season. Definitely not living up to the $4.1 million, the second highest NIL in the entire country right now. But a lot of talent on the team. Top 10 overall roster talent-wise. They're just not playing like it on the field. Syracuse, 23.7 points a game, giving up 30.8. They give up 268 through the air, 168 on the ground. Miami, no matter what, they should be able to move the ball here. They're averaging 32.3. throwing for 259, running for 155, only giving up 15.6 points a game. Really good defense, really good rush defense, only giving up 79.3 on the ground. I have the Hurricanes at least getting back in the win column here. Got to take it week by week. They win this one 37-16. And on the SEC Network at 4 p.m., 4-5 Auburn Tigers. Obviously, the big news after that god-awful loss to Kentucky. Hugh Freeze has been fired. This is a pretty good job, but Hugh Freeze is gone. He was also the play caller. They'll be on the road versus number 15, the Vanderbilt Commodore 7-2. I said last week Vanderbilt was going to go down. Did not think they were a top 10 team. No shade to them. I just didn't see them as a top 10 overall roster. Very Diego Pavia reliant. But still, overall, really good team with a very good offense. Looking at this matchup, Auburn 29.1% chance to win, Commodore 70.9, Vanderbilt 7-point favorites, 46.5-point favorites. They can't afford to lose any more games. They still have a shot to make the playoffs, but they have to win out. There's a couple tough games coming up in Auburn, even though, gosh, they cannot throw the ball. They can't score points. They actually have a very good defense. The defense will keep them in this game, especially on the road. Auburn 22.3 points a game. Throwing for 165, running for 165, giving up 17.7 points a game. A really good defense, really good wide receiver core. It's just Jackson Arnold can't throw the ball. Vandy 37.6 points a game, throwing for 245, running for 187, giving up 20.4 points per game. Diego Pavia 2,100 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, 5 picks, 500 yards on the ground. Give me Vanderbilt winning this one, 26-17. And at 4:30 p.m., number 24, the Washington Huskies, 6-2. Jeff Fish team here. Really good team overall. People have been sleeping on them the entire year. We said you got to look at Williams Jr. He can throw it. He can run it. 2,200 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 4 picks. Coleman's closing in on 700 on the ground. Boston, 700 through the air. Right now, they'll be on the road versus the 2-6 Wisconsin Badgers. Luke Fickell, he's still holding on to his job, but his leash is obviously very short. And at some point, the guy is going to be getting canned. It is what it is. He's done an awful job for the Badgers. Wisconsin, 27.1% chance to win. Washington, 72.9. The Huskies, 11.5-point favorites, 45.5 over-under. Washington, 35.5 points a game. Throwing for 272, running for 166. Overall, really good team, giving up 20.9 points a game. Wisconsin, 12.5 points a game. This may be the worst offense in all of Division I. It is god-awful. It's atrocious. It is awful to watch. Solid overall defense, though. They're throwing for 152, running for 110, giving up 23.9 points a game, which isn't bad considering the fact that they are on the field for like 80% of the time. Give me Washington win this one, 28-14. 7 p.m. on ESPN. The 5-3 Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Actually, not your typical Wake Forest team. They're not a bad. They're actually a pretty competitive team. They looked like crap last week. They got beat down by Florida State, but the week before that, they beat SMU, who just beat Miami. They'll be on the road versus number 12, Virginia Cavaliers, 8-1. Do I think Virginia is the number 12 team? No. But they continue to win. It is what it is. A lot of very close wins, though. One possession wins. I've been saying it so many times. At some point, it's going to sneak up with you guys. But the season's almost over. They've almost been able to skate by. If they win out, they're probably going to be in the ACC Championship, playing for a shot for the playoffs. Give this team some props. Fun stuff. Virginia, 78.5% chance to win. Wake Forest, 21.5. The Cavaliers, 6.5-point favorites, 48.5 over-under. They have Morris, the veteran quarterback, 2,100 passing yards. He can also take off. Taylor's closing in on 700 on the ground. Ashford for Wake Forest, more interceptions than touchdowns. He has to play a smart game here. They upset SMU. Can they pull off another upset? Demon Deacons, 24.3 points a game, giving up 21.8. The Cavaliers, 36.4 points a game, throwing for 252. Running for 187. Pretty good offense, giving up 22.2 points a game. I think the Cavaliers avoid the upset again. They win this one 27-20. ESPN 2, 7 p.m. The 5-4 Cal Golden Bears. Cal, not a bad overall defense. They've been put in some pretty tough situations right now. Riding a long losing streak. They actually had a pretty good opening to the season. Kind of fell off the last couple weeks, though. They'll be on the road versus number 14, the Louisville Cardinals, 7-1. Just like Virginia, they got a real shot here to make the ACC championship. Louisville, Jeff Brom, gotta love him. Gotta love what he does with this team. No matter what the talent is on his team, he completely changes his play calling style to the skill set on his roster. It's good stuff. And he's got some playmakers here. Miller Moss, Isaac Brown, 800 yards rushing. Bell looks like a first-round wide receiver. He's got the playmakers here. Pretty decent secondary also. They have a 91.7% chance to win. Cardinals, 19.5-point favorites. Very large spread for an in-conference game. A 50.5 over-under. Cal, 24.6 points a game. Throwing for 254. Only running for 78.6. You got to be able to take a good run game on the road with you. They don't have it. Puts them in a difficult spot at Louisville. They're giving up 25.1. Cardinals, 33.8 points a game, throwing for 252, running for 156, giving up 20.8 points a game. Brown is on fire on the ground. 3 straight 100 yards a game. One of them a 215 rushing yard performance. They dominate. They own the trenches. Jeff Brom does whatever he has to do to score some points. They win this one 33-23. And our second to last one, preseason-wise, this was supposed to be one of the games of the entire year. 7:30 p.m. ABC, the 5-3 LSU Tigers. LSU, they have no shot to make the playoffs. Brian Kelly's been fired, coming off the bye, fully rested here. But what's the mindset of this team? Have they given up? Have they thrown the towel? Do they have their pride? Do they show up ready to compete, score some points for the first time this season, actually score some points versus a decent team? We know they have a good defense, but so much is going to be what's their headspace right now. They'll be on the road versus number 4, the Alabama Crimson Tide, someone that they are very familiar with. 7-1, one team, nothing to lose. Alabama right now, they're in the hunt for a playoff spot. They're in the hunt to make it to the SEC championship. They'd love to win this one. 80.9% chance to win. The Tigers a 19.1% chance. Crimson Tide 10.5 point favorites. 49.5 over under. Kalen DeBoer, he's got Grubbs back. They're vertically pushing the ball down the field. I want to see Bama run just a little more. They've been able to get by so far, but at some point, especially in the playoffs, when you're playing some really good defenses, some really good secondaries, you're going to have to be able to just lean on that run game second half. Crimson Tide, Ty Simpson, like I said, one of the 3 guys for the front runner for the Heisman right now. 2,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, only 1 interception. 1 interception, crazy stuff. Got to get Miller going on the ground. Bernard, Williams, a lot of really good wide receivers, deep wide receiver core. Obviously, that's Kalen DeBoer's specialty. The other side, Nussmeier just hasn't panned out this season. The run game hasn't gotten going. Talented wide receiver core, good defense, year 2, Blake Baker. But obviously, a whole new coaching staff's going to be coming in. Tigers, 25.5 points a game. Throwing for 249, running for 106, giving up 18.9. Respectable defense. They get after it. But Bama's going to be pushing them down the field. Crimson Tide, 34.4 points a game. Throwing for 292, only running for 119. You got to get that number up. It needs to be around 160 to 170, and they're giving up 18.3. I think Alabama, they continue to hold on. I think LSU, they lose the fourth quarter. Crimson Tide win 31-20. And our final ranked game of Week 11, NBC, 7:30 p.m., the 7-1 Navy Midshipmen. They finally got their first loss last week. They were undefeated going into that game last week, but they honestly had a pretty easy schedule so far. They'll be on the road versus number 10, the Notre Dame, Fighting Irish 6-2. Notre Dame's lost to the Aggies. They've lost to Miami. They're riding a 6-game winning streak right now where they've just been clobbering people. Not the best performance last week, but the defense is back to looking like 2024 Notre Dame defense. That's a scary thing for opposing teams. This offense, to me, it's their most electrifying offense they've had in 1 or 2 decades. Much better than last year because they're balanced. CJ Carr can actually push the ball down the field. You got to worry about the pass. Love Pierce. There is no better 1-2 running back combo. Face-in, Greathouse, veteran wide receivers. The Irish, 96.5% chance to win. Midshipmen, only a 3.5% chance. Notre Dame's 25.5 point favorites, 56.5 over under. 0 room for error. There's only 4 games left. If they win out, they're in the playoffs. But they just got to take it game by game. You got to make sure you win out. Navy, 34.8 points a game, throwing for 149, running for 317, the best rushing team in the nation, giving up 24. How about Horvath at the quarterback position? 1,200 passing, 7 touchdowns, almost 1,000 rushing. This guy's a one-man machine. He's doing a little bit of everything. The Irish, 37.4 points a game, throwing for 274, running for 188, giving up 19.9 points a game. It's Love, it's Pierce. Who can stop the dynamic duo? I have the Irish winning this one, 42-24. So guys, that's all of our ranked top 25 matchups and predictions and picks for all of our Week 11 games. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Drop your comment below. Who do you think is going to win this game? What's your favorite game coming up this weekend? The season is almost over. Crazy stuff. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment below. Click on the link, sign up there. I would appreciate it. And as always, thank you guys for watching.